Hey y'all, welcome back to a special episode of Mel's Kitchen. On today's episode of Mel's Kitchen, I'm going to be sharing one of my favorite international cuisine recipes for a Caribbean style jerk chicken, rice and peas, cabbage stew, and that's not all, plantains. Inspired by my travels to the Caribbean islands, this recipe is very special to me because it encompasses memories and culture. I love traveling and learning about different cultures, and the Sagittarius in me always seeks to explore some more. I am so excited to share this recipe for one of my most delicious and juiciest jerk chickens that you will ever have. If you are a fan of spice and dishes that are immersed with intense flavor, this is the dish for you. Now, since I'm making several dishes today, I have broken down the ingredient list by type of food that I'm going to be making. So let's go ahead and get started with the ingredients for the jerk chicken. So for our spicy jerk chicken, you'll need chicken. Now I have drumsticks and thighs here. You'll need onions, Scotch bonnet or habanero peppers, green onions, garlic, fresh thyme, soy sauce, brown sugar, jerk chicken flavor seasoning, Walker's Wood Jamaican jerk marinade, browning, ginger, honey, all-purpose seasoning, pimento seeds, allspice ground seasoning, salt, and pepper to taste. Now for our rice and peas, you're also going to be needing onions, garlic, fresh thyme, dark kidney beans, long grain enriched rice, coconut milk, pimento seeds, also known as grounded allspice, salt, pepper, habanero peppers, or Scotch pepper as they are commonly referred to in the islands. Now for our cabbage stew, you'll also be needing some cabbage. As you can see, I have finely cut them into pieces. You also need carrots, onions, bell peppers, also fresh thyme, minced garlic, onions, one Scotch bonnet pepper. You're also going to be needing some vinegar, vegetable oil, pimento seeds, grounded allspice, and salt and pepper to taste. All right, y'all, so now that we have our ingredients listed, let's go ahead and get started with step 1, where we'll be washing our chicken thoroughly using salt and lime like so. Now, the key to delicious jerk chicken is overnight marination. So what we're going to go ahead and do is marinate our chicken for at least 24 hours. I put my chicken in a cooking pan, and as you can see, I place slits throughout the chicken. This is an important step that allows the chicken to seep through all of our seasonings overnight. So you'll go ahead and add 1/3 of browning, 1.5 cup of soy sauce, 1/3 cup of grounded allspice, 1 tablespoon of jerk chicken seasoning. Next, go ahead and add your onions and fresh sprigs of thyme. Go ahead and add a tablespoon of black pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of pimento seeds, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Go ahead and add 1/2 cup of Jamaican jerk marinade and your Scotch bonnet. We'll go ahead and add our green onions, and depending on your spice level intake, a little bit more marinade. Now, I have about 1/2 cup here. You are welcome to use more or less, and again, this is just dependent on your spice level intake. And voila, guys, this is now ready to be marinated overnight in the fridge. Go ahead and seal this up with foil and stick it in the fridge for about 24 hours. Now for step 4, we'll be prepping our rice and peas. We'll start by washing our rice thoroughly, and then we'll place it in our saucepan of boiling water and let it cook for about 10 minutes on medium-high before adding the rest of our ingredients. Now, once our rice is nicely cooked, we'll add our grounded allspice seasoning, our Scotch bonnet peppers, and go ahead and mix it all in. Next, we'll go ahead and add a tablespoon of salt and 1/2 tablespoon of peppers, black pepper that is. Next, we'll add our fresh thyme sprigs and mix thoroughly. We'll go ahead and add our onions, garlic, and green onions next. Lastly, we'll add our pimento seeds and a cup of coconut milk to the pan. We'll mix that all in, and lastly, we'll add our red kidney beans into our pan and stir it all in. After that, we'll go ahead and cook this down for another 10 minutes before taking it off the stove. And voila, guys, look at that. Delicious rice and peas, just like they serve it down in the islands. Next, we'll move on to step 5, where we'll be making our yummy cabbage stew. Bring your skillet to a medium high and drizzle 2 teaspoons of vegetable oil or olive oil, whichever you prefer, and then add your onions. Add your fresh thyme and mix. Next, add a tablespoon of salt and pepper to taste, and then add your Scotch bonnet peppers. Next, what you'll want to do is add a tablespoon of pimento seeds and a tablespoon of grounded allspice. Mix it all in and add your bell peppers, onions, and garlic, and then mix that all in as well. Next, we're going to go ahead and add our carrots into our skillet and mix. All right, y'all. Now we're going to go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of white vinegar and mix as well. And lastly, you're going to add your cabbages to the skillet. Now, once you have your cabbages, you want to cook it for a total of 20 minutes on medium high. Keep in mind, it does take a while for the cabbage to wilt and cook down. So depending on how soft or crunchy you like your cabbage, it can take anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes, and that will do the job. All right, y'all, and that brings us to our last and final step, step 6. This is where we'll go ahead and take our 24-hour marinated chicken out of the fridge and add about half a cup of ketchup and 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Since our chicken has marinated for 24 hours, it's packed with all sorts of flavor. And just to stabilize and even out the tangy flavors, we'll add a bit of sweetness to it. So go ahead and taste your seasoning at this point. If you need more brown sugar or honey, go ahead and add some, like so. Mix everything all in. All right, y'all. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to bring our jerk chicken to a skillet and add some water. We'll go ahead and cook our chicken for a total of 45 minutes on medium heat. I've added some fresh green onions, thyme, and 1 Scotch bonnet to my skillet as well. The key here is to monitor your chicken. Mix periodically while it's cooking and add more water as the sauce begins to thicken. You'll probably end up adding water about 3 to 4 times throughout this entire process. You want to ensure that the sauce remains as juicy as possible, so please continue to add water periodically to ensure this happens. Now that our jerk chicken has been cooking for about 45 minutes, it is looking so good. Guys, the aroma in my kitchen right now is just out of this world. Oh wow, this looks so yummy. And voila, guys, delicious jerk chicken is ready. Now, as a bonus, I am also going to be making plantains. And this is optional, but it pairs so well with rice and peas, jerk chicken, and cabbage. This is fairly simple step, so all you'll need is some plantains. Now, you want to make sure that the plantains that you get are pretty ripe. So I have already pre-cut them into an oval shape. So you'll go ahead and add your plantains to a skillet cooking with vegetable oil. Now, plantains are really fairly sweet at their ripe stage, so you really don't need to add any sugar or anything like that, but it is optional. If you want it to be a little bit more sweet, you can add cinnamon and sugar just to sweeten it up to your desired taste. Now, I decided to add a little bit of cinnamon to mine. I will go ahead and cook my plantains for about 10 minutes on medium high or until they are golden like so. And voila, guys, delicious Caribbean spread. Now, this entire episode is inspired by my favorite cultural dish. Now, if you can't make it to the islands, but you're craving this, be sure to try this recipe out. I guarantee it will have you saying yaman. All right, guys, so this is all for this episode. I hope you guys had a great time with me. And as always, please let me know what you thought of this episode in the comment box below.